What is going on, guys? Nick here, back with another video. As somebody who's done a lot of buying and selling shares of AMD, I've always been aware of Nvidia but never really taken the time to take a deep look into the company. In this video, I'll go through Nvidia's business. What exactly is it that they do? I'll also take a look at how much money they're really making and would now be a good time to buy shares. Nvidia is a company that designs semiconductors, specifically graphics processing units, or GPUs. It's important to understand what a GPU is to understanding what Nvidia's business is and what makes it special. GPUs are important for high-quality graphics and video rendering. Digital shapes are made with a bunch of small triangles. When somebody moves around in a video game or when rendering 3D models, all of these triangles have to be recalculated for their size, lighting, and shading for each frame. This has to happen extremely fast, often at 60 frames per second. All of these calculations are done at the same time with GPUs using parallel processing. When most people think of a processor in a computer, they're thinking of CPUs. CPUs usually have around 4 to 8 cores, and in comparison to a GPU core, are extremely powerful. GPUs have hundreds of smaller cores that are much less powerful, but they can all run at once, completing similar calculations like all of those triangle calculations I mentioned earlier. This enables a GPU to process huge amounts of simple calculations in an instant versus a CPU which can handle more complicated calculations but less all at once. Nvidia is recognized as the king of the GPU market. They hold about 80% market share in the DGPU market. These are GPUs that are not already built into the motherboard on a computer. Now, the four main markets that Nvidia makes GPUs for are gaming, professional visualization, data center, and automotive. Gaming is a rapidly growing industry, especially with the rise of esports. Right now, money spent on the global gaming market is estimated to grow around 9% per year. As gaming graphics continue to improve over time, this only increases the demand for more powerful GPUs. Now, I know this isn't the most scientifically rigorous research, but looking at PCMag.com, Nvidia has 6 out of the 10 slots for their top 10 picks, and on Amazon, Nvidia has 9 of the top 10 bestsellers for GPUs. The professional visualization market are GPUs designed for 3D modeling software and image analysis. 3D models today are basic requirements for any expensive architecture or product design. The details on these models have come a long way. They're at a point where they can create photorealistic images and simulate light throughout the day for better room design analysis. AI components can be included in image analysis to monitor things like the health of vegetation in a given area. Now, the data center market is one of the biggest and most important opportunities for Nvidia. The two major areas of focus are artificial intelligence and high-powered computing. Nvidia's GPUs help accelerate deep learning and machine learning workloads. Deep learning is using computer analysis to identify patterns from massive amounts of data. This data can be in all kinds of formats like text, images, and sound. AI can actually be used in task automation. They've actually gotten to the point where computers can start to write their own code. AI also has application in reading medical images, financial fraud detection, and voice detection. Nvidia designs specific GPUs for deep learning. I actually find watching deep learning videos pretty fascinating. If you're curious about how this works, a while ago I found a video where 4 bots were trained over millions of matches to learn how to play hide and go seek, and by the end of it they came up producing some pretty hilarious results. There's a link to the video in the description where you can go to watch the full video if you're interested. Now, in the automotive market, they're using AI to help develop autonomous vehicles. Considering all the information vehicles have to process at once, it only seems to make sense that GPUs, machine learning, and accelerated computing have use here. To bolster these markets, they've made 2 big acquisitions in 2019 and 2020. The first is acquiring Mellanox Technologies for $6.9 billion. Mellanox makes ultra-high-speed internet and infinity band products. This allows data centers to link incredible amounts of GPU computing power at even higher speeds. Recently, they came out with the 7th generation of Nvidia and Mellanox Infinity Band, capable of 400 gigabits per second speed. The second acquisition is ARM, which cost them $40 billion. Now, this deal hasn't gone through yet, and in the week that I'm making this video, the UK's competition regulator is inspecting if the deal should go through. They're mostly concerned with antitrust implications. ARM mostly makes chips for mobile devices like smartphones and tablets. One of the biggest problems for smartphones and tablets is the thin space doesn't allow for cooling systems or massive batteries. ARM chips are designed to work much simpler than the Intel x86 design, but because of that, some of the computing power is limited. But this seems to be changing. ARM capabilities are quickly catching up to the x86 chips. Given the better heat efficiencies and reduced power consumption, these could help reduce costs involved in running data centers. Nvidia's CEO, Jensen Huang, describes these acquisitions are a step to move towards AI computing, where the computers are writing more of their own code. He said that machines are capable of writing code much faster than humans, and that some of the code that they're writing, humans can't even write. The combination, he says, will lead to even greater expansion of computing power towards autonomous systems all over the world, helping society do all kinds of tasks. Okay, so let's take a look at Nvidia's financials and see how things are going. Looking at revenue, operating income, and net income, we can see a big change since 2016, where growth rapidly started to increase. According to one analyst in 2017, they said they upgraded the stock based on its underappreciated transformation from a traditional PC graphics chip vendor into a supplier of high-end gaming, enterprise graphics, cloud-accelerated computing, and automotive markets. It seems like this upgrade proved to be very accurate. Looking further into the financials, we can see just how well managed their business is. Starting with the revenue versus operating expenses, we can see that the cost of revenue, meaning producing the goods and services, and research and development make up pretty much the majority of their expenses. If we add in the rest of their expenses and benefits like interest earned from investing cash or taxes they paid, we can see it's a very small number relative to their other costs. In 2019, they actually received a tax benefit and positive interest expenses of $337 million. This means they received more interest than the interest they paid on debts on top of a tax benefit. Taking a look at the forecasted revenue and net income for 2021 and 2022, we can see that they're projected to continue the rapid growth we've seen. The revenue growth has maintained over 20% growth since 2017, with the only exception of 2020, but it makes up for that revenue decline with a big jump to 50% growth between 2020 and 2021. A quick look at the balance sheet shows $27 billion in assets to $12 billion in liabilities. That leaves us with $16 billion in equity. They reported $7 billion in debt, so they have a very healthy debt-to-equity ratio of about 50%. So let's take a look at the valuation. But before I do that, if you could take a second to scroll down and hit the like button, I would really appreciate it. These videos do take a lot of time and research, so if you could help me out with a quick thumbs up, I would really appreciate it. In this video and going forward, I want to do a better job explaining the valuation and what they actually mean. So I'm going to break this down like I usually do, but I'm also going to explain how this relates to the share price better. So I'm going to use a range of 20 to 15% growth for Nvidia. This gives us a fair PE value of 36 to 56. Nvidia reported an earnings per share of $6.12 over the last year, giving us a valuation between $220 to $342 per share. If we look at the full 2021 forecast, they're projected to earn $9.72 per share, bringing the valuation up to $349 to $544. Currently for 2022, analysts are projecting $11.67, so this brings the valuation between $420 and $653. So if we use the average of my projected growth rate for Nvidia, which is 17.5%, we can forecast the future earnings per share for them. Looking at this on a chart for the next 5 years, we can see how the current share price compares with the future value. The share price, the orange line, ends up reaching fair value somewhere between 2021 and 2023. Right now, this trend is pretty common with a lot of the high growth stocks I've seen. Because we can confidently expect a high growth rate over the next few years, people have been willing to pay a little bit more than typical. In general, if you can't justify the share price and the stock experiences a sell-off, the share price may take a very long time to return or never recover. I usually think of these situations as testing the valuation. If it drops and never recovers, then it probably failed the test. This is why it's important to understand the valuation for a company. It's impossible to predict the stock price movement all the time, but if we understand the underlying value, we can use this to estimate what's reasonable and where the stock should be. There's a lot of people who seem to think that positive news is what decides if a stock doubles or not. But the truth is that while that can happen for short periods of time, eventually reality will catch up. If we buy Nvidia stock here at $531 per share, we may not be able to break back even until the end of this year. But if we continue to hold over the next few years, by 2026 we can expect the share price to be somewhere between $1,200 and $800. So the purpose of these videos is to help give you guys a deep understanding of what the business is doing, how well they're actually performing, and if the stock might be something that you're interested in buying. While I'll tell you what I think, I still think you should do your own research to reach your own conclusions. Don't just rely on what I say. Right now, Nvidia looks like a decent buy. I'm always more interested if I can get in at a lower price, but if you're planning to hold this for the next few years, I think you'll do very well for yourself at $531 per share. Personally, I haven't bought any shares and I don't have an immediate plan to do so, but it is added to my watch list, so if I see a price drop significantly, I'll buy without hesitation. So that's the video. Thank you for taking the time to watch all the way through. If you like this kind of deep dive content into one stock at a time, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the bell notification so you know whenever I upload a new video. And as always, thanks for watching.